This is absolutely criminal.
Welcome to Absolutely Criminal, everybody. We're live on a Tuesday night on Valentine's Day Eve. This is Andrew, and right beside me, just sitting down, is
Tiffie Lou.
What's going on, Tiffie Lou?
Thanks for letting me take a nap and then telling me we start in 2 minutes.
Yes. Just 5 minutes ago, Tiffie Lou was unconscious, and I didn't realize it was time yet. So I went and I hurried and woke her up.
I am sort of awake. All righty.
What's going on? Who's here, Tiffie Lou?
Looks like we got Wesley. Nanya, Dennis girl, Renee. Renee's good. Oh yeah, she's here. Okay. What else? Oh, I guess that's it so far. At least that's all that's spoken. I don't know. There's obviously more.
Yeah.
It says we have 20, but
I saw Wesley at another stream today, and he also says that we missed you last week, Renee. The one show that you've missed. Now you're allowed to miss shows every
obviously,
now and then,
yeah. It's attendance is not a requirement.
We're gonna let it go this one time. Okay?
But we were surprised to see her not there. She's not only always there, but she's always there early.
She's like our biggest booster.
I know. I know.
All right, we appreciate you. Okay, so today Donna Adelson was in court.
Mm-hmm.
There were some technical difficulties this morning, so the live streams were a little garbled, but I pulled out 3 or 4 minutes that we'll watch. And then we'll talk about, are the Adelsons adjusting to prison? Because Donna...
We're going to have to. She's going to be there a while.
Yep. Well, don't tell them yet, but she might be in jail for just a little bit. And then speaking of people in jail, our favorite crazy Colonel Canuck, Russell Williams, is bearing his soul. So he's about to confess everything.
And
okay.
What do you mean? No, we stopped it last time on. No, we said got a map, and then we continued after that.
Well, got a map. We continued after that. And the last question Jim Smith asked him was, why do you think all this happened? And he's about to go.
I don't know all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any of this.
That's
really.
just in a few minutes. And then we'll have our comments of the day. But first, here revealed exclusively for the 12th. We're 12th in line. This has been announced today, but this is our exclusive unveiling of Donna's trial date. Are you ready?
Hey, wait. Is this you? Wesley's got a question.
Andrew was lurking around STS this morning, or at least I think yep, it was me.
He's a loiterer.
Surviving the Survivor today.
Yeah.
They had, we're talking about Dan Rashbaum and Donna Adelson. So, but here we go.
I'm sorry, I'm coughing so much.
Oh, and let's see. Okay, so I forgot to put that up. If you look at the bottom, you'll see all of our members.
Oh.
The people that are supporting this channel. We got Ron Jeremy DeWitt, love that name. Mary Boots, I Love Lucy, and all the other people that are in our insider information program.
Yeah.
And you can go to the membership tab, look that up, and see if that's for you. But
it's totally for you guys.
It's totally
I
for
mean,
you.
come on.
But we're brought to you in part by all these lovely people, and we really appreciate your support. Okay, let's reveal Donna's trial date.
Speedy trial.
Yeah, so much for a speedy trial. September 30th. Remember, Rashbaum had said they wanted to get this done as soon as possible. They had and we'll play a little bit from the court here this morning. And she was in the recording briefly. She's not in this recording, but I'll put her picture up. This is what she looked like, and basically she was wearing a mask today. She did talk a little bit. You'll hear her. Is
she sick?
You'll hear her later, but
I should have a mask on.
You should. You really should.
Shut up.
You sound like that cop that interviewed Sarah Boone.
I know.
Yeah.
You need to pause me or whatever you do.
All right. Okay, I hit the cough button that time.
Do it again.
Folks. All right. All right, she's gonna make it.
I think I might survive.
All right, so here is her hearing this morning, setting the trial date.
Ms. Adelson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Judge.
All right. Good afternoon. Let's go ahead and address next State versus Donna Adelson, 2023, CF 3226.
Judge Alex Morris and Dan Rashbaum on behalf of Ms. Adelson. We're ready to ask the court for a trial date.
Right.
Ms. Dan
Ms. Dugan,
Rashbaum.
you can make your appearance.
This is Sarah Catherine Dugan for the state.
Got a haircut.
Oh, yeah, he's all fresh
Looks
and
a
clean.
little shorter.
We've discussed September trial date with the defense, and I think we all agree to those dates, and have kind of looked at the calendar for that time, looked at the court's trial weeks and a possible fifth week at the end of the week, and I think we're all flexible as to what will work for the court that month.
Wesley, she is, but see what she's got is blonde highlights. So the grays don't show as often when you've added some blonde highlights. So they're there, but they blend in with the blonde. Very smart if you're going to go to prison.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
We heard it here first.
Yeah.
For us.
Right, defense.
She got it right. Whichever week. Looking at your calendar, that last week of September, the fifth week, and then spilling over into a natural trial week seemed appealing, but I don't know what your schedule allows for.
Right, well.
Who's that
this
guy?
is-
Yeah, I guess he's on Rashi's team.
Oh, okay.
I think I heard that Rashbaum is taking the second spot and sort of
Letting someone else lead the.
letting someone else drive. Let me know if
Okay.
I'm wrong, guys, but I think I heard that today. Man, this was this morning. You know, those days where this morning seems like yesterday. It was so long ago. That's one of these days.
I know, Wesley. I'm really gifted. Maybe I should have my own channel.
You should have your own
Yeah.
show, damn it.
Somewhat difficult to say. Judge Allman still is in the process of determining who is going to be in what division. This case will stay with me, but if I'm otherwise in a civil division or doing something else, it probably becomes a little bit easier and more flexible to schedule the trial.
I like this guy.
But for now, let's operate as if I was.
He's kind of gruff.
He's got a very judgy demeanor. You know? And I
He
mean
looks
that,
like a judge.
I mean that in a good way. He's,
Yeah.
you know, very, very judgy.
It'll be in Division C. We'll put it on September. September 26th is the docket sounding you'd be asking for. That's the one before the fifth week.
Which is fine, Judge. Yes.
Ms. Dugan,
That'll be fine. We'd be fine with either the September 12th docket sounding or the 26th.
actually,
No Georgia
let's go
cavalry
ahead
today.
and put it on the 9/12 docket sounding. The idea being that the start of jury selection would be during that fifth week.
Setting up
But that
preliminary
should give us
hearings.
some time if there's anything that we need to work out ahead of time.
I wonder if Rashi's going to bring in that $1 million jury selection expert this time.
We'll have to see.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got all those connections, I guess.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get a $2 million jury selection expert this time. Maybe that will do it.
That'll get her off.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
deal with before any trial starts. I am going to end up, now that we have a date picked for 9/12 being the docket sounding in the week of
Donna will make it. She is preserved in her own venom, pickled in her own juices. That's right.
trial starting September 30th. Probably going to end up entering a separate order that deals with a motion and discovery cutoff. So that way we're not dealing with these issues up to the wire. However, cases have a mind of their own. The cutoff date will be in place. However, if we need to address it any further from there, we will. One matter that I did want to make sure we had a clear record on.
All right. So this is a big question, I guess, but he's about to ask Well, I'll let him say it. I like that he makes himself chuckle every once in a while as well. Kind of like your dad, very just, you know.
Has any plea offer been extended to the defense?
No, sir.
Does the state intend to give a plea offer?
Not that I know of, but if something changes, we'll let them know.
Very well.
No plea offer being offered,
Ah.
and none taken, I'm sure, because
she's
innocent.
Risk.
She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, not only that, like, but they're not even going to give her any kind of bail or anything.
I
So
mean,
she
how
can't
can you
even
argue
sit at home
that?
until September.
Right. So Miss Speedy Trial is going to wait till September, and that by then it will have almost been a year. So it'll be interesting to see how she holds up.
Has your client wanted to convey any offers to the state?
None.
And again, everyone knows me well. There's not going to be any prodding or pushing about plea offers or state you making one, but
Rashbaum's representation of Charlie was so laughable.
I think of that
Every
too.
time I see Rashbaum, I think of Steve Carell.
Yes.
Especially with all that sniffing of his face. Yeah, you mentioned Steve Carell should play him in the movie, right?
Think that if they do the movie, Steve Carell should be
He's got the role.
Ultimately, when it comes down to it, if Ms. Adelson is to make a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary decision about going to trial, that includes whether or not there is any plea offer to reject or accept.
What's that guy doing? Is he drawing?
What is it? Is he playing Minesweeper?
It looks like
or
a
what's going on there?
little video game going on.
All right, so that was Donna in court today. Once again, you can get a look at her right here. There she is. Any day now. Here we go. There she is. So that was her in court this morning. And there's Amy Day for good measure, for no reason. So
just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun.
Because we have it. Yeah. Because why not? And we also have pictures of Rusty in his underwear.
Yes, which we will be getting to shortly. But first, comments of the day. Okay, we just have one today, but I thought it was pretty good. And let us know what you think of this, because this is kind of the way I have been thinking, but I'm not always the optimistic type. My prediction, whether involved or not, Wendy Adelson will beat this rap. She has to. She's got a young mother's fervor to protect her brood and the legal training to fend off all attackers. Remember, she doesn't have to prove that she wasn't involved, only that there is reasonable doubt. And if she wins, she gets her boys a huge cash out from her wealthy parents, her own wealth to keep and enjoy, not to mention the money from Dan, more money from lucrative book deals, and plenty of hunky boyfriends to come. Wendy will have it all. Are there still going to be men that take a chance with her?
Isn't she with somebody new now?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I don't know, man. She's got to have some kind of like magic spell or something, because I know she's attractive, but
yeah,
she cray.
Yeah,
you guys are hard up, man.
Oh my gosh, we'll be with anybody.
You boys in your business.
Yeah. That's Wendy Adelson. All right, so
ooh, Diana Wright popped in. Hi.
Hey, welcome. Good to see everybody. If you're enjoying yourself, please hit thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already.
And
what are you doing?
All your friends.
Tell all your friends. What are you doing just lurking around here? I want to know, do you think the Adelsons are adjusting to prison, or will they? And when will we get some phone calls from Donna Adelson? That's what I really want to find out.
Who's she going to call? The person she talks to is in jail.
Well, doesn't she talk to Harvey?
I don't know.
Yeah, she can't call Sonny Boy anymore, but she could certainly call Harvey. And I would love it if Wendy would call in, but we know she's too cunning to make that mistake.
Yeah.
So let's see.
All right, Gary's jumping. We can't talk about Russell yet. We're not
Rusty
there
Williams
yet.
refused to admit the possession of CP. Ellie found it on his computers. Oh wow, really?
Oh, she was keeping secrets.
He had kitty
Interesting.
kitty prawn on his on his computer. I didn't know that. Thank you for that.
That isn't remotely surprising considering his charges.
Thank you for that nugget. Yeah.
You know?
So I don't have much else here, but I want to show you something I'm working on. I always I was fascinated by the Dolce Vita recording, but it always, to me, it's just hard to listen to because you could barely hear it.
Sparkles went to bed.
All right, good night, Sparkles.
Night.
Thanks for coming by. We love you. So I cloned Charlie Adelson's voice. That was him. Cloned his voice, and I fed in the transcript from the Dolce Vita recording just to see if I could sit back and listen to it.
Gosh, he looks terrified.
I only have like the first couple paragraphs, but
is there like a car driving into his face right now? He looks like a deer.
Just don't mention that he's pooping or has just pooped because people don't like our 8-year-old humor.
I don't think he looks like that. If you look like that when you've pooped, that's scary. He looks like somebody's driving towards him.
Yeah. So here's AI Cyber Charlie reading the Dolce Vita transcript. I'm going to have an AI K-Max as well and put together just the dialogue that we know so I can hear it properly.
That's if they had any evidence, we would have already gone to the airport. The problem is, even if they bug this, even if they bug your home phone, nobody's going. I
saw his luggage as well.
Even if they bug your phone, you're still not talking about any of this. So my point is, how do you get people to talk? You throw smoke grenades, and then you get all of the cockroaches to run out.
Gosh, if only the audio quality of the phone calls was this way and we didn't have to guess what he was saying.
Right, yeah.
So there's smoke in the house. And everyone's running and everyone's talking, and you throw a smoke grenade. What do you think? Listen, if that's what it was, it's very smart, because that means my mom hasn't told my dad anything. My mom knows my dad is going to flip out when he finds out, but my mom hasn't told my dad anything. That normally, obviously, if that was a cop that came and spoke to my mom, and that night when he comes home from work, she would say, guess who today, or guess who paid me a little visit when I'm taking the grandkids to school. And then after she dropped them and she was walking home, she dropped them off and was walking.
Oh, Lucy. Yeah, it's Andrew at absolutelycriminal.com. Andrew at absolutelycriminal.com. Let me know if it...
Or info
at absolutelycriminal.com. Let me know if it doesn't get through this time, and we can give you an alternate way to contact us, but it should get through.
Back by herself. So this person had to be, because the thing is, a lot of times my mom takes their car and drives them to school, the kids. This person knew her routine, knows who.
All right. Well, I need to pep that AI Charlie up a little bit. He's a little.
Gosh, he's boring.
He's a little boring. Yeah. So that's coming up, and now let's get to old Russie boy. There he is. Let's see. There's Russell Williams, and so now we know he did not tell all. He had some.
He told
underage delights on his computer, and wow, that's not surprising because he did steal panties from that teenager that was in his neighborhood, and left the note there for them to find. So let's pick up where we left off. This is Russell Williams, and he's about to get asked, Russell, why do you think all this happened? And let's see if we get a satisfactory answer.
Why do you think these things happen? Have you spent much time thinking about that?
About why?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know the answers.
Yeah, he probably doesn't really.
No, he probably has no idea why he does this.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised he has even time to think about it, because he's a colonel by day and he's out every night doing this kind of stuff,
And I'm pretty sure the answers don't matter.
Well, let me ask you this: did you like or dislike these women?
I didn't know any of them.
I didn't know any of
So
them.
he didn't like or dislike them. Maybe they were random.
That's irrelevant to him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
I had met Marie France that one time in our airplane.
Okay.
He flew with her one day.
I guess when you're going through these things, are you? Well, let's talk about Jessica, because she was there with you for the whole day, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of feelings were you experiencing while you were with her that day?
Now, Jessica Lloyd, I believe that is the woman that he saw on his way home or driving by, saw her working out on the treadmill in a window, and then was obsessed with her.
Mm.
And just an hour ago, he was a free
She
man.
was a very nice girl.
And he'll never see the outside of a prison. Well, hopefully.
Can you tell me why you killed her? Right? Do you know why you killed her?
Well, I think I killed her because I knew that
Oh, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you,
Oh,
Wesley.
and happy Valentine's Day to you, Wesley. Thank you so much. We love you.
story would be recognized.
Her story would be recognized? How do you mean?
Well, because she knew I was taking pictures.
Yeah, that was his. He would usually, or at first he would take pictures and then leave, you know, with them tied up. But then he graduated to
Yeah, it was
killing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it was slow because he did graduate to raping and then leaving,
Yeah.
and then eventually
Mhm.
raping and taking, and yeah.
So because of the two stories in Tweed,
Yes, he was. He wore the same shoes. He did.
Yep, they took him right off his feet. They took him down the hall and put some ink on him and did the impressions.
And that was that.
Lo and behold, just like the tire tracks, they were
Right.
a perfect match.
that would have been a fairly
He drove the car there too, I think, probably.
been quite obvious.
So if you didn't take pictures, what would you have done with her?
I don't know.
I mean, she's at your house, right? Well, let me ask you this: is it 2 lived, right, and 2 died? What was the difference in your mind between?
Well, the attention the first 2 got was very much focused on, obviously, or for obvious reasons, the pictures I took.
So getting too much attention. He didn't. I think BTK wanted more attention than this guy because he would write letters to the newspaper and stuff like that.
and
But
tease them. Right.
Russell just wanted to be left alone.
So anybody else telling stories about pictures, right, would have been a fairly straight line.
Okay, but when this thing happened with Marie France, did you believe that you were already a suspect for what happened in Tweed?
No.
So what were you concerned about?
Well, because I was pretty sure that she was serving military, right?
It is an old
Mhm.
case.
Yeah, this was at least 12 years
Yeah,
ago. The Canadian colonel who used to fly around dignitaries of the Queen of England had flown with him. And so he was doing that by day, and by night he was breaking into women's houses and stealing underpants and taking pictures in their attire and then leaving. Then he graduated to murdering them, unfortunately.
It would have been.
It's one of the best
it would
interrogations
have
of
been
all
difficult
time.
for
So
investigators to ignore that connection.
Okay.
and this is Tiffie Lou's first time through it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I've never seen the interrogation.
Let's go back to Jessica then. Okay. You see her on the Wednesday night. Okay. On her treadmill.
Mm.
How do you see her?
She was in the basement, window wide open, on a treadmill. So I drove by.
Okay.
Yeah, it's used
Do you-
in training, this interrogation. Just a masterpiece of questioning.
He's
and-
like an artist,
right,
you know?
never raises his voice. He's had the same tone throughout, you know, and it's just yeah, it's pretty cool. He's a rock star.
Do you stop to look at the house, or how does that catch your eye as you drive by?
Well, I was looking to see who was where. Don't know that area very well, so I was just keeping my eyes open.
Okay. So you spot her on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Do you just keep on going, or did you just stop and take a closer look that
No.
night or anything? No?
I kept going.
Okay. And you went back on the Thursday night, right?
Yep.
So
Stand up a little
back
bit.
on the Thursday night, and you went into the house before she came home?
Yeah, she was out.
Wait, so you're allowed to stand up in interrogation rooms? I always got the impression you have to stay seated.
Yeah, I mean, he did kind of get up there suddenly, and usually they would probably ask him to sit down, but I think he's just giving him the leeway to walk around and feel comfortable.
Because
you
he's
know?
already sharing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Done with those. Yeah, she was out. Got in through the kitchen window. It's unlocked. Everything else was locked.
Okay. So you're in there doing what?
Looking around to see who lived in the house. It was just her.
Okay. And then what do you do?
Well, I left the house. And then she came home. I hadn't been out of the house very long. So I watched for a little bit to see if she was alone. She was. And I went in when she went back to sleep. When she went to sleep.
So went in when she went back to sleep. Watched her until she.
So he's patient.
Yeah.
I'm not. I get bored. I'm like, I don't think they're going to bed. I just leave.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the patience for that. But, I don't know where his wife thought he was all these times, but I guess
He could probably just say work,
yeah.
military stuff.
right. I
You
got
know?
a flight, babe. I'm gonna be out of town.
Right. Yeah.
So you go in, she's sleeping, and what do you do?
Well, I snuck up to the side of her bed, expecting to try try to knock her out. She woke up.
Yeah, that's a interesting study into the psychology of this guy. Like,
But
what?
that doesn't mean that he wasn't doing anything. It just means he wasn't caught.
Yeah, but
I
yeah,
mean, what do you
just,
think? He just developed this as an adult?
I don't know.
He probably had
You
something
think
like
he
this going on.
was doing something in the shadows?
You know, it
beforehand?
had to start somewhere, and it started before this. So,
Huh? Yeah. How did we get here? How does one get to that place?
yeah.
But she did as I said. So I didn't hit her.
What did you say?
Said lie down on your tummy.
Okay.
She did. I tied her up.
What'd you tie her up with?
Some rope I brought.
So she's on her stomach. How are you tying her up?
Just tying her hands behind her back.
Okay. She got clothes on at that point?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of clothes?
Sweats.
All right. So tie her hands behind her back, and then what happens?
I took her clothes off.
Okay.
It's really like studying an alien, isn't it?
And then what happened?
Like, it's just so, the thought patterns are really so hard to conceive of, and
Dude, his other little bald spot coming in looks like a PlayStation remote.
oh yeah, yeah, up on top of his head. If you turn sideways, it does look like a
We should put little buttons right here.
Oh, Rusty boy.
I raped her.
Ugh.
See, this is what trips me out about him, though.
Mm-hmm.
They never, he's rare. They don't usually say they raped someone. They'll say, I had sex with her.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's a good point.
for
Yeah.
him to use the R word is
Mhm.
like kind of huge, you know? I've never heard that. Maybe it's happened, but I'm unaware of it.
Interesting. Yeah, they tend to want to make it sound less offensive than it actually is, using less offensive language, right?
Yeah.
A rape can mean a lot of different things. What kind of sexual act took place?
Vaginal and oral.
Okay. Oral. Who was performing the oral
In which
sex?
direction, sweetie?
Yeah, yuck.
No, me on her and her on me.
Okay. Any condoms used or anything like that?
No.
No.
I was thinking that too, Wesley. He's just like, you
Yeah, right.
know,
And once he kind of turned his demeanor in this direction, going from trying to hide it to calculating, everything and determining that he's caught. And so, well, I'm
Here
just
we
gonna
go.
own up to it now.
dude, thank you, Wendy, for joining us.
Wendy, thank you very much. Not Wendy Adelson. You're Wendy with a Y.
Wendy with a Y.
Not Wendy.
Yeah.
Thank you. And let us know, members and viewers alike, let us know in the comments what kinds of things you would like to see on our show and what you would like to see next on Absolutely Criminal Life.
I would say the R word. I think I would rather have someone steal my underwear than rape me. I mean, I'm just putting that out there.
Well, yeah.
If I had to choose between the two. You know, so I can't imagine that the women's underwear thing is what he's considering his big crime.
Yeah.
I just think it's weird that he used that word. I'm just saying.
I see.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, again, correct me if I'm wrong. Vaginal intercourse. Her performing oral sex on you, and you performing oral sex on her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what order those things occurred in?
Yeah. I started with the oral sex then I raped her. And then later on I made her perform oral sex on me.
And any remorse he has, I think, is for himself now. He doesn't.
Any
I don't think he feels anything.
Well, I
for-
think he might. I don't know. Like, it's one thing to do it, but it's another thing to say it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Like he said, I
He's
can't
never
believe this is
actually
happening.
said this to anyone. This has
Mhm.
been his dirty little secret. He's never said this out loud.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah. You know, when you go to therapy and then sometimes you talk about things that you've had in your head for a long time, but you never really vocalized them.
Yeah.
And to me, it just sounds kind of weird sometimes. Of course, I'd never revealed a secret quite like this, but
Yeah.
but it takes on a whole new life of its own when you say it out loud.
Yeah.
Conversation
Right.
happening when this is going on?
Yeah, a little bit.
What was being said?
Well, I threatened her before she, before I had her perform oral sex.
What did you say?
Well, I put a zip tie around her neck.
Hmm.
I said that I would pull it if I didn't like what she would do.
Okay. So she did what you
Oh
told.
yeah, Wesley, I'm aware. We watched Orange is the New Black, so we know all about the underwear
Oh yeah.
selling on this. Yeah,
Is that called snow dropping? I didn't know the term for it,
the
but
vending. I knew
there-
about the vending machine. I
Mhm.
never heard it called snow dropping. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know the cool lingo.
Are there still those vending machines there in Japan, Wesley John Holmes? Or is that a thing of the past now? I wonder.
I don't know how Japan rocks it, man.
But yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know.
surprising to me. Like they would have them in subway terminals and stuff. You just get off the train after a long, hard day, pick up some used underwear, and head home with a bottle of sake.
I
What
mean,
do you
it's
do?
better than breaking into someone's house.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Any issues there? Any reason to pull it?
No.
So, do you remember if you ejaculated at that point? Or at any point?
Not at that point, but later on.
Okay. So, the oral sex finishes, and then what happens next?
Well, I continued to rape her, and I had her put on some of her underwear.
It's
Took
a
some
thing of the
pictures.
past, huh?
Lots of pictures. And then,
I'm sure they've gone underground, like online. You know, I'm sure there's on the dark web. They probably trade those things.
Dude, no way. Really?
Wow. Huh.
Huh, that's
got her
crazy.
dressed, walked back to the truck.
Okay. At what point did you decide that she was going to leave with you?
I'm not sure. That wasn't necessarily always the plan. But at some point, I was there for three hours, 3 and a bit.
Okay. Do you remember the conversation about leaving? Was there any... Did she say anything about that, or what was she saying to you?
She was certainly cooperative.
Imagine spending your
Okay.
last moments on Earth with this guy. And I'm sure, like, his mask came off, so to speak, and his eyes were probably just dark and lifeless, you know,
Mhm.
as he was doing this.
Cooperative can mean a number of different things. Was she excited about leaving with you? I mean, I don't want to be sarcastic, but
No, she just didn't put up too much of a fuss.
did she try and negotiate with you at all, or
No.
What did she say?
Well, I told her that I would let her go later on.
But
Okay.
had no intention of that.
So when you take her out of your house, is she still bound, or
Yep,
how is that done?
just hands behind her back.
What about her feet? Anything there?
So there were no neighbors
she
or anything
walking
that
free.
saw her when he was taking her out of.
I guess apparently not. You know, it was pretty secluded, dark, and you know, I was looking to see what the percentage of. Okay, so about 1.2% of U.S. adult men and 0.3 to 0.7 of U.S. adult women are considered to be psychopaths.
Wow.
So, as we approach 10,000 subscribers, Tiffie Lou, that means statistically 100 of you are psychopaths.
Psychos.
Not necessarily killing, but you might want to have
We've seen some of your comments.
you might want to have that looked at eventually.
Okay. Barefoot or
No, she had those brown suede shoes on that had been reported.
okay. So where does she sit in your truck when you get to the truck?
Front seat, passenger side.
Okay. And where do you go?
Straight to Tweed.
Straight to your house in Tweed, or straight
Yeah.
to just the town?
Straight to the house.
No stops anywhere?
No.
Okay. What time, do you remember what time you arrived there?
I don't exactly, but I'd say between 4:30 and 5:30.
Okay. All right.
So he takes her from her house over to his place.
When
in
you
Tweed.
were
Where's
first,
his wife? Well, he takes her back to his own house.
Probably at their other house. They had a home in Tweed, and then they had that new.
Oh, I thought
newer
they had
one that they
already
would-
moved to the new home. I didn't know that they were. That
Okay,
they had
yeah.
both. Okay.
If anybody recalls the name of the town that he
The
lived
not
with,
Tweed
the
town.
not Tweed town.
Yeah.
Let us know. Slip of my mind.
there before she came home. Do you remember? Did anybody come to the door at all when you were in the house?
No, I think somebody had come home, somebody had come to the house just before she did.
Wasn't she
I
a
thought it was her,
doctor?
but then
Oh,
they
his
left.
wife?
I was
Maybe.
outside at the time.
Did you see who that person was, or what kind of vehicle they were in, or anything?
No. Saw the light.
Let's see. Her name is Mary Elizabeth Harriman. They married in 1991.
Yeah, she's an associate doctor.
Associate Director of the Heart and Stroke
Oh,
Foundation
director.
of Canada.
Oh, that's not doctor.
Yeah. But
But
she
it's
might
all
be
heart
she
related. You
could
have to be a
doc-
doctor at some point.
Yeah, she
right?
could be a doctor, I think.
She's
so.
got a.
But had a big career, obviously,
Right.
you know, like her husband. And
So her being busy meant maybe she didn't notice all this stuff.
yeah, right.
She knows
If you're
she's
gonna
not
have
going to
a
be home or
Mhm.
whatever.
yeah, she's not just sitting at home. So
Yeah.
that's a good point.
So I assumed it was her, and then all of a sudden they left, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah. How long is this? You
Um,
never told me how long the interrogation
Oh,
was.
there's yeah, there's another hour.
So how
uh,
long is it from beginning to end?
I will look that up and let you know.
Where were you when that first vehicle pulled up?
In the back here.
Okay. So you didn't have a view of the vehicle, you could just tell that there was a vehicle there, is that fair? Okay. So you get home, what, 4:35 you say?
Okay, there have been parts redacted, but the complete interrogation, as it is on YouTube, is 2 hours and 39 minutes. So it probably was over 3 hours.
So it was a while.
before they took out the stuff. Yeah. How long did it take in real time? Watch
Yeah.
this years back, can't remember. So at least 2 hours and 39 minutes, we know.
Okay. And then what happens?
I'm not going to tell you what kind of bonbons I'm eating, but yeah, I think I might notice though if Andrew was just disappearing in the night.
Yeah, right. No, like I wouldn't
with my bonbons.
I wouldn't be able to pull off this kind of shenanigans.
Yeah.
Well, she Should I go to the bathroom?
I'd like to think I would throw my murder shoes away, though.
Maybe.
But no, I'm a dummy. I probably
He's
wouldn't.
too clueless.
Shower, wash it. Then we went into my bedroom. And went to sleep a little bit. She was tied up.
How was she tied up at that point?
Hands behind her back. I put tape over her eyes from the beginning. So that's what she did.
Okay. When they find her, is that tape going to be there, or was it ever removed?
No, I removed it.
Okay. What kind of tape?
Duct tape.
All right.
What happened?
I don't know. Are we losing sound?
I don't know. It just paused.
Why don't you stop clicking on a bunch of other stuff and let us watch the video?
Huh. Are we still live? Can you guys hear us? I don't know. This just... Oh, it says it's playing. I wonder if that's... 1640. Huh. Yeah.
It went away.
Well, I'm trying to fix it. I was just... Oh my gosh.
They can hear us.
You can hear us. Well, this is certainly
We can't hear the video.
This is certainly an entertaining program, isn't it?
Did the volume stop, or is it literally just our earbud?
No, the
okay.
the video froze, and I'm not sure why. I'm gonna try to get this. So just entertain the folks. Tiffie Lou.
I hate it when you do this.
How's everybody doing tonight?
I don't have anything up my sleeve.
I was doing this because I wanted to take a poll. As I'm sitting here watching this interrogation, I realize the second half is not so much fun to listen to. So I was going to put up a poll and see if whether or not we should continue this next time. What do you think, Tiffie?
Well, if the video's frozen, it sounds like we don't have much of a choice.
Well, we can get that. We can get that going. But
I'm hearing something.
Yeah, no, we were hearing ourselves. I was just.
Okay, can you tell me why your neck is bleeding?
My neck is bleeding?
Your neck is bleeding. It's
Oh,
like dripping.
Good Lord. Did I scratch?
Oh, maybe it's dry now.
Oh, did I scratch an itch or something?
I guess.
All right,
It's
we're
like-
going to start a poll.
His neck is bleeding.
Oh my gosh. It's shenanigans here tonight. It's all over the place. Should we watch the rest of Russ?
Yeah, Wesley. My bonbons, well, they're not exactly made by C's Candy.
All right, in the chat, you'll see that poll. Should we continue?
Oh, however, this is a question from what Wessel.
Mhm. Russell.
Wesley. Thank you. What's the update on Russell? Does anyone know? Did he get interviewed while in jail or anything after he was convicted?
Yeah, I never saw anything after the post-conviction. I wonder if he's been interviewed at all. But I didn't not see that in the...
Why do you think these things happen?
There we go. Let's go 1640. There we go.
The duct tape that you used,
There we go.
where's that roll?
So let us know in
It's all
the
done.
poll in the chat if you would like to continue this or move on with something else.
I used the rest of it to bind her body.
Oh, yeah, he's okay. He just scratched himself, apparently fervently,
Yeah, I didn't even feel
and
it.
then started to bleed.
So, by all gone, is it with the body
Yeah,
now?
talons.
Okay. So you said who went to sleep when you came home? You had a shower, or she had a shower?
Well, we both got in. I washed her off after she'd been to the bathroom. We both went to sleep. But she was tied up and I had tied the rope. So I could fall asleep a little bit and she could move without waking me up.
Okay, I'm trying to picture how that would be. So the rope's tied to what on her?
Just tied her hands behind her back.
Okay. And
And then the rope just wrapped around me a couple of times. So
Is somebody trying to throw me under the bus here?
Do you remember how long?
A likely story. Yeah, it's kind of alarming to hear. My neck was bleeding.
I know. It's not near a vein or anything.
Yeah. So when you call 911, you're gonna say, yeah, I just got home. I woke up, I took a nap, I got up, and then I made some popcorn, and then I walked into the other room, and my husband is dead.
And you slept for?
not long, maybe a couple hours.
Do you know if she slept?
I don't know.
Okay. So you wake up and
And it wasn't. I mean, we were up and down, so it wasn't 2 hours straight.
See?
My new cat clawed his claws, and my bear. Ooh, yikes!
Well,
Yeah.
see, so they don't scratch themselves. They have their cats do it.
Oh well.
That's the smart thing.
I know. Here I am, like an idiot, scratching my own neck.
I
Spent
know.
2 hours in bed, but there wasn't much sleep. Just lying there, probably.
so you get up from that, and what happens next?
It looks like 71% of you so far would like to continue this next time.
I hope so.
Yeah. Are you-
I haven't seen the rest of it.
Yeah, let's do it for Tiffie Lou. I don't know if it was just too hard to get
She had a
through for
seizure.
some people.
Actually,
She had a seizure, is what he just said.
she felt it coming on, and because she'd had some before. Lasted quite a while. Got her dressed into the family room, and
Wait, what,
She,
Lucy? He has the possibility of
parole.
parole?
Yeah, right.
I didn't know that.
I think that's pretty standard in Canada.
Oh, really? They just hand it out like candy?
Right. It doesn't mean they necessarily give parole, but it's after 25 years or so, I think. I'll look that up.
she recovered. She got obviously stress, but probably went on for about 15
Yeah,
minutes.
life sentence with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Wow.
He's done half of it,
Part of it.
at least.
So,
Yeah.
how do you know she had them before?
She told me.
Did
Did she tell you why she gets them?
More than
Mhm.
half of it.
Yeah, 2010. So
And
he's
more than half of it. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's 14 years.
And yeah, I wonder if 25 means 25, unlike here in the United States, where sometimes you have to serve 80% or 50%. I'm sure he doesn't get credit for good behavior, or I would hope not.
Well, she suggested it was stress. Yeah, so she felt herself start to tense up and said she thought she was going to have a seizure. So it was
Oh, thank you, Carrie.
convulsions. Is what she was
Orleans. Oh, yeah,
Orleans
like
is
New
where the
Orleans.
Williams had. Oh,
I
okay.
gotta remember that. That's smart. I knew it started with an O,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
And
but
it
it
wasn't
wasn't Ontario.
Ontario,
That's all I
right?
knew. But I'm like, was it that Ockle? What's it called?
Ottawa.
Yeah,
No.
Ottawa. Yeah.
Thank
But
you.
no.
Okay. So she recovered from that?
Yep, I stayed with her and talked her through it and made sure she didn't bite her tongue.
Okay.
Wesley, to answer your question, yes, with proper scrunching completely.
Scrunching?
He's asking about the hair tub.
Oh, right.
And then what happened?
Well,
That's the person we're talking about
she's
now.
so pretty.
Jessica Lloyd, so young,
I don't like her eyebrows.
Well,
but the rest of her so pretty.
why do you have to do that?
It's just they're staring at me like they were drawn on in a pencil.
All right.
Sorry.
Rest in peace.
I had a little lie down right there because she was obviously exhausted. Put a cover over her and she went to sleep. Wait for an hour or so. And I had told her earlier that before I let her go, I wanted to take some pictures of her in her underwear.
Mm.
And
Pause this. Is there like a sound in the video, or is?
Yeah, there are sounds. And what are you hearing?
I thought I heard Madeline crying, but then
I hear her doing something out there. I don't.
Oh, right. You don't even
crying, though.
know. Should I go check on our dog? I'm going to go check on our dog.
All right. She'll be right back.
have sex with her.
She's on my phone with our son.
Oh, she's FaceTiming her brother.
Okay. I'm like, what the heck?
So after she'd had a rest for an hour or so, I had her put on.
Lucy, yes, I'm aware. However, I'm going to say, not that I'm like above it all, but my eyebrows have never been worn that way, but I'm not really a trend follower.
How about them eyebrows?
I got eyebrows. Those aren't that bad.
Yeah, I guess those are pretty normal.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then we have, those are pretty nice.
Yeah, no, she clearly gets those professionally waxed. She's not doing that with tweezers in her bathroom.
All right. What about Rusty Boy? All right.
Number of different outfits she had.
I'm sorry?
Put on a number, pairs. Penny's bra that she had.
Okay.
Taken from the house. So she put those on and I took pictures.
Okay. Are you in any of these pictures?
Yep.
Yep.
Gosh, could he have shaved
What kind
before
of
the photos?
What kind of images are you in?
Gosh. So he knows exactly what kind of images he's in, and the world is going to see these images.
And we're 14 years later, we're still going to be looking at them.
We're still picking through them, Russell. I'm sorry. This is hard to put into words, isn't it, Russie?
Well, I'm with her. There's on the hard drives. You'll see there's video as well.
Yuck.
So there's video of the.
Okay.
These were things obviously never released to the public.
I don't understand. Well, obviously, nobody wants to watch someone get raped.
Yeah.
What I don't understand, and this is a common thread, but I'm really confused.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, he's already indulging by the act.
Mm-hmm.
Why film it?
Yeah, he wants to relive it.
But he'll get caught.
Well, sure, yeah, but I don't think they're necessarily thinking, logically at that point. Why does anybody record their crime?
Yeah.
It's really pretty prevalent. We're looking at you, Sarah Boone.
Almost 4 hours, I guess.
She was drunk,
She
not
was.
intentional.
Right, he was stone cold sober.
Well, initially at her place of raping her. And then, so I was running the video and then taking still pictures. So the video pretty much.
I thought she was saying I'm a compulsion. But she's explaining why he filmed it.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, I am?
She's my favorite compulsion, I'll tell you that.
Covers everything.
Did you use video at other places?
At Marie France's as well.
And is that video on the hard drives?
Yep.
Same type of activity?
Yep. Although I didn't have her put on any stuff.
Okay. So Jessica poses for these pictures, and there's videos, and then what happens?
Then I got her dressed because she thought she was leaving. Got a bite to eat.
No, Lucy, it's not your fault. It's what's in my bonbon. Okay, it's fine. You're good.
Did you have a medicated bonbon?
An herbal enhancement.
All right.
Fruit. And then as we were walking out, I struck her on the back of the head.
Okay. When did you decide to do that?
Well, I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to let her leave.
Yeah, you knew
But,
that from the start.
You know, the idea of striking her on the head was developed in the afternoon.
And what was that strike supposed to accomplish in your mind? What was the intent of doing that?
Well, I thought I would be able to knock her out, and then I was going to strangle her.
Unfortunately, they're not.
Okay. So when you actually do strike her, what's the result?
Her skull gave way a little bit. Felt like. And there was a lot of blood, so I think that's what happened. She was immediately unconscious. And then I strangled her.
How'd you strangle her?
The same rope. Just put her on her neck
Okay.
while she was unconscious.
Now, what happened to the zip tie that was around her neck earlier?
I took it off around then, I guess.
Did you take it off before you put the rope around her neck, or after, or do you remember?
After she was dead.
Oh, okay. So the zip tie was around her neck while you used the rope?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you leave the rope around her neck?
No.
Okay. And how did you know she was dead?
She well, her body stopped moving.
Okay. So what did you do after that?
I bound her up to there's her fetal position. And cleaned up the floor.
Yeah, this would be terrifying.
Okay,
to
so you
hear.
bound her up.
Yeah.
Are you referring to the duct tape that you talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what did you?
I can't imagine. Like I would want to know, but I wouldn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, such a hard place to be in for the family.
Mm-hmm.
I put her in the garage.
Like I feel it would be my duty to know if it happened.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I didn't fill you in. They've been chatting on what our search histories would look like as just true crime enthusiasts.
Tried ChatGPT at the end. It stated I should do such morbid searches. Nobody be interested in Israel key. Yeah, ChatGPT lectures me all the time as well. Like I've learned that I cannot look up teachers that sleep with their students. That will get you the ban hammer. But when I'm researching things, it will tell me now. Remember, we have to be sensitive with these subjects, and it's
and like whenever you want to write in sarcasm for our show,
right? Like
it's like that's not very good humor.
You have to be aware that.
And then I went into the base.
What's really makes me feel batty is when I have a straight-on argument with the artificial intelligence, like
with the fake brain. Okay.
Right. Sometimes I win, but usually not.
Okay. Why'd you go to the base?
Pardon me?
Why'd you go to the base?
Because I was flying early the next morning.
Okay. So what time did you leave to go to the base?
Well, I told you about between 9 and 10 or so.
On the Friday night?
Yep.
Okay. So you fly, and
How would you feel if your heart surgeon is this dude's wife?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I
mean,
know
she
how
had
that
a
would...
life after he was put away.
Yeah.
But she's now completely tied to this.
I mean, presumably
Like the
she had
kids
no
with
idea.
Adelson, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's got to be quite a revelation, you know. Jared Fogel's wife, the Subway guy,
Yeah.
had no idea he was a
creepos.
Yep.
Then I drove home to Ottawa.
Shout out to Jared Fogel in prison. He got beat up one time, I think. And he's I think he got 12 years, so he should be getting
probably
out
done,
soon.
right?
Yeah.
Because that was a while ago.
so which night would you?
Saturday night.
So you land, and what time are you landing?
6:30.
Okay.
Saturday night.
Did you go by the house in Tweed on your way to Ottawa? Or? No. So you drove straight home to Ottawa? What time did you get there at? Do you remember?
Sometime before midnight. I can't quite remember, but I think I went in the office first, did some work.
Business as usual.
So I think I got home to Ottawa just before midnight, something like that.
And he's been trained to handle high-stress situations. So
Yeah, so he
I'm
compartmentalizes
sure that-
it. He just puts it on the back burner and
Yeah.
focuses on what's next.
Not sure. I slept for a little bit at the Tim Hortons in Brockville. So it might be later. I honestly can't remember when I got to Ottawa, but
Okay.
yeah, midnight-ish, Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So you get home, you're in Ottawa, what do? Go to bed or
Yeah.
stay up? Okay. So then what do you do the next day?
He went about his life, dude.
Yep, he went about his life.
That's it.
And
Moving on.
So that was Jessica Lloyd, and then soon in the next part that we'll see, he'll talk about
Her.
Marie-France Como, one of
Yeah.
his colleagues that he flew with one time, and then ended up killing her. So that will be next time. That's where we'll leave it. And
Thank you for staying with us this whole time.
Yeah,
it's
you
over
guys
an
hung
hour.
out. Mhm.
We've had a few pauses, and I've hacked up a couple of lungs.
Yeah, and if you want
Andrew
to,
bled. Man, this has been a dramatic night.
we've had a little bit of everything, haven't we? Yeah, if you'd like to see this whole interrogation, I recommend it highly. Like watching it all the way through with the pauses, the dramatic, moments and everything. It's on a channel called The Mob Reporter on YouTube, and you can see the whole thing there. So highly recommended. One of the best interrogations on YouTube, right up there with Chris Watts and Sarah Boone. This is one of the classics. So thanks for sticking with us, and thank you for all your generous support and your love. And please hit the thumbs up button on your way out if you would. And yeah.
And we'll see you on Friday.
We will see you on Friday. Love you guys. Bye-bye.